Like 20, obviously the year is still very young, isn't it? 2024, still very young.
We're not in 2024 yet, technically, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, true saying that. Depending on obviously how, which part of the world and what you believe in and what year.
Well, which part of the world, but
yeah.
We're still in winter 2023 because
Interesting. Yes.
the leaves are not awake yet.
Yeah.
Nature hasn't woken up yet. She's still hibernating.
Yeah. So should we say 2023? Yeah. Like what are obviously usually people have goals. Usually people have got however people want to call it. Like in terms of like this might sound like a mad question, innit? But answer it however you want to answer it. Yeah. Like this year, like what plans do you have in terms of like contributing to the world in general?
I'm doing a lot of teaching.
Tell them.
So I'm
Blue!
I'm a spiritual healer and I'm a spiritual therapist.
Yes, Blue. Tell them, Blue.
As I said earlier, my purpose here on earth is a sense of servitude.
Yeah.
So if we was to kind of have, say, what do they call it? You have the idea in the middle and all the things that come off of it. I've forgotten what the word's called.
The passport.
No. So basically, like, this is me, servitude.
Yeah.
This is where it starts.
Yeah.
I write music that heals. I sing that heals. Yeah. I heal. I speak to people. I do therapy. So it all comes back to servitude and helping people to be better, helping people to enjoy their life, but more than anything, helping people to get back in alignment with who they spiritually are. And so everything that I do comes off of that servitude bubble. And so this year there'll be teaching people about your spiritual self and who you are as a spiritual being before your avatar, understanding why you're here, understanding the work and stuff that you would be doing that's in alignment for you to have a happy and purposeful life. So there's a lot of that this year. As I mentioned earlier, I have an EP coming later on this year, an acoustic EP. It's my first. I've never done acoustic before. Not recorded anyway. So I've got an acoustic EP coming called Songs for the Soul. And it's basically, I'm singing in a very different, in the healing key of my voice, which is quite low. I find that whenever I use those tones, people like it. It's like it's hypnotizing or it resonates in the soul. Yeah. And the reason for the title is because I'm talking a lot about inner child wounds. I'm talking about core beliefs. I'm talking about ancestry, DNA and trauma and how I've overcome and healed those things. And celebrating the inner child and all of those things. And that's part one. I've got a book coming out later on this year and it's called Real World Affirmations. And it's all centered around the root chakra, because I don't know if you know, but each chakra has a different affirmation. So this is the first one, and it's all centered around the root chakra. But it is not this inhale positivity, exhale positive bullshit. It's not that. It's very real world. So it's gonna have things in there like it's gonna have things in there like my nose and my nose. Or my no doesn't mean I don't love you. Of course. Do you know what I mean? It's things like that and it's a lot of them are very thought provoking as well. So things like, am I trying to help or am I just avoiding my own situations that I need to be dealing with? So some of it's very thought provoking as well. So that's why it's called Real World Affirmations. And that's out in April. I've got a few retreats where I'm healing women through their traumas and learning how to help them bond through sisterhood, because a lot of us, myself included, was very frightened of women because of my first encounter with a woman and what that was like being my mother. So helping to heal like a lot of trauma bonds between women, especially black women, because I hear a lot of black women say, I don't trust women, I don't like women. And I'm like, I understand that wound because I used to be that, and that came from my mum. And my mum not trusting women came from her mum, and it's something that's passed down. So generational curses, definitely. And people don't understand the DNA holds trauma and gets passed on. But there's ways that we can resolve that in our waking life and change the DNA. So there's a lot of teaching around that this year. That's what's coming this year.
Yeah, I want to ask you, like I always say on this platform, I've said it a couple of times. I believe obviously every human being is spiritual. The only thing is some people just don't know how to tap in into the spiritual being, into the higher self, however you might call it, right? So like for me, like I mean for you, when did you tap into like properly like into your spirituality? Because your energy is once again crazy. When did you like?
I
Yeah.
tapped into I
Crazy.
became aware of who I was as a spiritual being.
Yeah.
Maybe about 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
I tapped into my spirituality fully about 3 years ago now.
Oh.
Understanding why my name is Blue, understanding what my gifts are, understanding why I have them, how to use them correctly, understanding energy and how to manipulate and change energy, how to be in control of my own energy, how to block other people's energy out. There's been like a lot of work and lessons and ongoing stuff as well. So I master one thing and they're like, I have this one.
Yeah, that's the universe, isn't it? Always throwing you challenges, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm enjoying the journey, so.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. I proper love it because, you know, once again, like, I think all of us, you know, obviously, you know, I always say, like, obviously, all of us are originally from Africa, right? First and foremost. And I feel like once we immigrate to obviously these countries and, you know, we start creating a life for ourselves, our loved ones in these countries, I feel like it's so important. Obviously, people say know yourself, don't ever forget where you come from. But I feel like in a spiritual way, I feel like it is so first. And I feel like it's so important
anything that manifests here manifests on the spiritual realm
absolutely
first. So it's always spirit first.
Yeah, absolutely. And random question as well. Have you ever tried magic mushrooms before?
No.
And what are your thoughts? Like, obviously,
I've done the original. I've done the original, which is ayahuasca.
Oh, ayahuasca!
I'm a South American. Come on. The spirit walks and that. Come on.
Like, talk to us.
I'm a Venezuelan, babes.
Like, the reason why, like, I'm asking that because I'm literally like, you know, like for a very long time, obviously, like, you know, sometimes when you look into something, you can either just dive into it head first and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it, see what happens, or you take so long and you start overthinking. Sometimes, you know, sometimes when you procrastinate and you. Something,
start thinking your way out of
overthinking.
it. Yeah. You think yourself out of an idea. Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
So literally, I've been exactly like that with magic mushrooms. Yeah. I've had. It's like the universe like keeps on sending like in my real life on social media. It's like the universe wants me to take magic mushrooms. Yeah. But it's like I keep running away from it, and soon I'm gonna do it. But that's why I like talking about magic mushrooms and talking to different people about them and whatnot. Like. Talking about ayahuasca, like you said, didn't it? I've heard certain people talk about that as well and whatnot. Like for you personally, as Blu Rodriguez, like when you had that experience, what was your experience? And when you came out of it, what did you take out from the experience?
I mean, first of all, ayahuasca is always taken with something else, dependent on what the purpose of that spiritual journey is. It's not just one size fits all.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd come out of a traumatic relationship or was having a very difficult time cutting their energy away from mine. And what was happening is their energy was clinging to me. I had to do like all kinds of different
God damn, you just hit my soul.
rituals to kind of get it off of me. So there was like 7-day candles. And once I did all of that, I spoke to some family back in Venezuela, and I come from a long line of like shamans and tarot readers and Reiki healers and all that kind of stuff.
Proper spirit, tapped in differently.
So I come from one of that. So I spoke to one of my great aunties and I was like, you know, I was having a breakdown on the phone to her. She's like, what's going on? And I was like, listen, I'm having some kind of spiritual awakening that's very frightening for me, but I feel like there's something. I felt like you know, like when you're wearing a harness and it's like someone's on the other end of the harness just pulling. And I was walking and then the winds would catch in it and just and I'm saying like I feel like and the only way I could describe it is like I'm stuck in this hole, and every time I try to get out I get sucked back in. Sometimes some days I'm flying over the hole and I can see it, then I get sucked back in. Other days I can't even climb to the top. Sometimes I get at the top and I'm sitting and I get sucked back in. And you know, she's a very, very powerful and very insightful oracle. So I don't know if you guys know what oracle is. Yeah, I'm an oracle as well. So she was able to see what was going on, and she said he's definitely attached himself to you, but this has a lot to do with your core wounds as well. I want you to come over and let us guide you for a spiritual cleanse. And so I mean, I've been to Venezuela back and forth a few times anyway because I've got family there, and I went over there and my hair is actually growing out from that because I had to shave it all off. You have to remove all of your body hair.
Wow.
So when you watch Black Panther and you see that they're burying him in the dirt, it's actually like a very real ritual that's taken from Africa. But you know, the Africans were in South America, they're in North America, New Orleans, so these practices still exist. So yeah, we had to wait for a storm, and I had to have all my hair from my body, my head, everything was removed, no eyebrows, no nothing, like everything gone.
Oh wow!
And then we
literally every hair on your body.
And then we went to I had to spend 9 days setting an intention of what I want, resonating through each number in numerology. So understanding that number 1 marked a new beginning and me having a different thought set. 2, understanding the balance of understanding that this is never something that's going to be gone from my system, but rather let it teach me, and all of these different things. And then on I think it was the 8th day, I didn't get to day 9, maybe the 7th or the 8th day, she's like, the storm's coming, let's go. So we had to go out to the forest, and I was buried in the dirt. I was given something to drink, and I'm telling you, you think you guys know thunderstorms in this country? Go and see a thunderstorm in South America. Go and see a thunderstorm in any hot or tropical country. When I tell you I was in there and the ground was, I felt like God took the ground. It was just rocking.
Crazy.
I was terrified. But I remember drinking it, and I remember coming out and seeing my physical family, because there was like 4 other people there, and then seeing like a whole load of ancestors like on the spiritual plane, and they were greeting me, and they just gave me so much insight into my inner core wounds, what made me choose him, what made me stay for so long, what I was ignoring, what I was meant to learn, understanding the karmic attachments, understanding twin flame attachments, and
I've heard of the
what it means, and how to understand and how to learn from it. And then the next minute I was in my home planet as a spiritual being, talking to my spiritual parents from where I originally come from before I got to Earth. It was like the craziest experience.
Oh, wow.
And then I came round, and it felt like it took half an hour. I was out for 2 days.
Wow.
But they say the spiritual realm, the vibration is so much faster, isn't it? So you process things a lot quicker. Which is why we can't see it here, because the vibration here is so much slower.
Of course.
So yeah, what felt like 30 minutes, I was out for 2 days.
2 days. Wow.
Yeah.
You know when, like in that place where you said you got buried?
Yeah. Like they just sat there watching me, and then they was just feeding me water and stuff. And then I came around, and I was like, I cried a lot. I journaled a lot. I burned everything that I wrote, but I came back with such a different view of myself, of the world, of other people. And one thing that I do remember that will sit with me forever is like, I remember thinking, finally the pain has stopped.
Wow.
Finally it stopped, because I went through such tremendous pain from such a young child. And my relationships were very reflective of the relationships that I had at home, because it was all I knew and understood. And I just remember coming around and thinking, it's gone. Or it was leaving, like it was coming out of my body. And my aunt said to me, you know, she said to me, she speaks the language, she said, you've done really, really well, I'm so proud of you. And remember, when you're in that hole, you've been planted, you haven't been buried. They can't bury you, because we are you and you are us.
Wow.
And at the time I was like, because she's so insightful. And now as the oracle and growing into the spiritual being, that makes perfect sense. At the time I was like, what the hell is this lady talking about? But she's like, they can't bury you, because you are us and we are you. But she said, you're the key. Like the DNA is broken, and it's for you to unlock it and change it, because you're the first. She said, you're the first empowering woman of your bloodline. There's no one that's come before you that's first. So you're the last, but you're the first. So at this point, my daughter wasn't born yet, and my granddaughter wasn't born yet. So I was the last female to be born in my family. That had gone through this trauma. But it was for me to break the generational curse. And that's why, even though I was dealing with so much, I was still winning. I was still progressing. I was still, excuse me, throat chakra. Who doesn't want me to speak?
That's what I'm thinking.
There was so much happening in my bloodline that was on me to change, and I didn't realise that I'd left where I'd come from, watching the bloodlines and saying, you lot ain't learning nothing, let me come and sort this out. So
I think even with me, there was a lot that I needed to take off, you know, from stuff traumas that I used to go through. And like, people forget that even when you start going through like older age, there's certain things that you may be doing that is still due to what was attached to you.
Absolutely. And that's why when I say to people, like, they're talking to my ancestors, babes, it's not everybody's ancestors that's on stuff, because I know my mum's side, my ancestors on that side are not heavy hitters. They're docile, and they were very oppressed women, which is why I am the fiery character. I'm the first empowered woman, because I'm meant to break the chain. My dad's side, toxic as hell. They're not heavy hitters because they're mad. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's toxic, he's manipulative, he's very, very spiteful, he's abusive. But if I call them and say, yo, this situation, yeah, them man are heavy hitters. They're crazy. But I'm saying, like, you have to be careful when interacting with your ancestors, because you have to judge the character of who they were when they were here.
Thank you so much for that, yeah. As you can imagine, I've been quiet, just proper. I've got so many questions with what you said, yeah. You see, when people usually say that, then my ancestors and whatever, like, if you've never met them, or like, obviously the bloodline is so far, whatever. For those people, because now you've made me think, because sometimes when I pray, I pray with, I put my ancestors within my prayers.
Yeah.
So it's like, for people like us, like me, who I've never obviously met them before, I've never met my granddad, like a couple of them before, and and I've never also had conversations with my mom or my grandma to, you know, to get to know them more. Like, how would I know if they was tapped? Like we said, because some of them, it's like, yeah, you got to understand. How would I know if they were tapped?
What you do is you look at the pattern in your family.
Oh, the pattern is fucked up, darling.
They tap them, babes.
Oh, the pattern, darling, the pattern's fucked.
Like, all right, so if I tell you my pattern,
darling, I'm sorry, it's fucked.
Fucked, tapped.
Fucked, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is, and that's why we're here.
Damn.
And that's why we're here. Like, when I look at, like, for example,
it.
I'm born as a result of rape. Yeah.
Oh,
so my dad is my
sorry.
mum's stepdad, my nan's ex-husband. Yeah. And he groomed my mum. I was born. My nan did not empower my mum. She isolated her from the family.
Okay.
So when I look at my nan, for you to do that,
okay.
something must have happened to you, and you thought that was the right thing to do.
Okay.
Which means my grandmother, my great-grandmother now, what happened to you, why this could happen to my nan, and you didn't empower her or get rid of the man? Because something happened to you. So when I look at the bloodline of the females in my family, you guys have all gone through some kind of abuse or oppression at the hands of men, and none of you have been validated, acknowledged, or empowered in your pain. You've been told to sweep it under the carpet and do as you're told. Blu Rodriguez, no the fuck I won't. I'm going to turn some shit over. I'm going to get mad in this bitch. I'm going to do rare. Yeah. And they don't like it, because now they have to start dealing with. I've lifted up the carpet and burnt it. I said, what's all of this?
Yeah.
I hear you.
How can this happen to my mum and you don't say nothing? Because I'm her.
Yeah.
My cousins are like, you can't talk to Nala. I said, what the pussy clot I want to say. Because this is my livelihood.
Okay, you know what, you're reminding me, because I've had, obviously, you know, like how Africa, where we come from, sometimes people say, don't
Your
speak
elders,
like that, this
I
and that.
say, listen, my family know, I'm going to say some shit.
Okay. Because when I've said, even me, sorry bro, yeah? Because even me, to just say something quickly, when I was going through, you know, like asking questions or whatever, this and that, when I had a conversation with my dad, my mom, yeah, there was a few family relatives that were just even shocked that I've even either asked that or even spoken to dad like that.
Because that's how they're raised.
And then
that's their
normal. Okay.
And that's when I say, when you recognise the patterns.
Yeah.
Their patterns is not talking about, sweeping things under the carpet, hiding. And then these things are happening and everyone's just acting like it's not happening. And then Blu comes in and says, how did you allow your husband to do this to my mum?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't speak to me like that. I'm your nan. Brethren, I haven't even started swearing yet, but if you want me to, I'm going to go there, because I've got no rules and boundaries when it comes to these kind of things, because I've told my children, people will tell you things like, I'm going to hurt your mum if you talk. No one can't hurt mummy. Mummy's a warrior. Yeah? People are going to say, they're going to try and make you keep secrets. You dare keep secrets. And don't feel like you're going to get in trouble by telling, because you come and tell mummy's going to go and... What she's been made to realise is, you see where your generations and loads of generations in the black family, you sweep things under the carpet or you don't speak. I've taught my kids, anything anybody does that is wrong, adult, child, especially family, you come and tell me. Because with my mum, it was a family member. With my nan, it was a family member. With my great-gran, with my great-great-gran, it was family members that troubled them. And their mother sat down and did this. Me, I kick out your whole soul. I'll snatch your solar plexus off you.
For real. Nah, real shit. Because somebody eventually, like you're saying, Blu, eventually somebody from the family has to come down and burn that bridge and say, we're not doing this shit
Absolutely.
anymore.
My mum ended up on taking drugs. She was very abusive towards me. And as much as, you know, I understand why she was, I don't excuse it, don't get me wrong, because I've gone through abuse and I don't abuse my kids. So part of it is trauma and part of it is character traits. I'm not stupid. Do you see what I'm saying? But I have an understanding as to why she's the way she is, because she was going through grooming, she's going through sexual abuse at the hands of her mum's husband, and her mum didn't protect her. What kind of traumas? Not just what he did, but your reaction to it. You put her out the house. You're a man clown. And I told my nan that. You're a man clown.
Yeah. That's absolutely crazy, man.
Sometimes, like, certain things happen is based due to certain traumas.
Yeah, it's all the way. It's come down. It's come down.
I didn't realise
and I
that
understand it with them
until later on.
but I can't excuse it. And so now they've, you know, my nan is still here, but my great grand's gone. And I knew my great grand. You know, she lived until my first son was 2, and my great great grand, I think she never died until I was 2 either. So it's like I know of them, but I don't know them. But now I'm understanding. I'm like, yeah, you're my ancestors, and I love you, and I've had to change the DNA in you lot so that when you lot come back, you start doing things differently because I've healed it. But I can't call on you when there's spiritual beef going on because you man ain't about that life.
No,
you man gonna turn a blind eye and act like it's not happening.
Yeah.
Whereas my dad's side now, the kind of character he is and his family, they love beef. He's a disgusting man, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they love beef.
See, mine's kind of different. I have 2 warriors, so once the 2 meet, it's friction. And like, yeah, they didn't seem eye to eye. And her mum is outspoken, so there's another clash there.
Yeah.
So I was in the midst of all these like different traits. So in the end, it didn't benefit me at all. I had to escort myself out.
That's what I've done. Like the situation I'm in now is like, I'm not the first daughter and I'm not the oldest.
Yeah.
But I'm the matriarch of my family because the hierarchy in my family is out of order.
Yeah.
My nan has to respect me on a different level because she knows I'm going to talk some stuff that you don't want to hear. So you're going to have to stay away from me. But you see what's happened is it's from me going forward because I don't associate with none of them because I'm like, y'all are not going to raise my kids to take abuse, to not be empowered, to not be strong, to not be warriors. I'm a warrior and I've raised warriors.
Of course.
And before this started happening in the family, y'all were warriors because I've been there enough times before to know that this is not how it started. So I got to come and finish it. My granddaughter is born on my biological mum's birthday. So whatever my mum was supposed to do, she's come back. But she's come back through a different bloodline of healing.
Yep. That is absolutely.
My daughter's come through through healing because I got 3 boys before I had my daughter.
Oh.
They've all come through healing. So now any more daughters that come, that's all them come. That's the great great grandmother all coming back because Blue said, we ain't doing this.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Quick question before we continue shortly. Would you like to have any more kids moving forward? God willing.
Okay, this is gonna sound really crazy.
Nothing sounds crazy, darling. Trust me. Nothing sounds crazy.
Just because I'm an oracle, innit?
Yeah.
I don't plan on having more children.
Oh, okay.
But I have a daughter that's coming.
Okay.
She's waiting. She's just waiting for me to get the husband. She's like, I'm on my way whenever you. So, and I've tried to switch.
I get exactly
and I can
what you
switch timelines and I can change timelines.
Oh.
And no matter how much I try to change this timeline, she's there like, I'm coming. So.
You know what, Blue? Yeah. I hope what you just said. I hope that doesn't go over some people's heads.
Yeah.
It will go over a lot of people's heads.
Yeah, I hope what you just said doesn't go over some people's heads.
It will with some people.
Yeah. And just touching on before we finish, just touching on just one or two more questions. Yeah. You see, sometimes like you have some people that think or claim that they are cursed.
Right.
You got some people that claim that maybe feel like maybe a family member done voodoo on them, or maybe like somebody, an ex or whatever, they upset somebody and now they've got this spirit, spiritual spirit holding them back from progressing in life. Or you get me? Like, what are your thoughts on that? On them kind of people who actually, what are your thoughts on them kind?
In some cases, but very minimal, it's a real thing. Like I've had to reverse something off of a lady before because her mum put something on her. Yeah. And I've had to reverse it. Like her mum cursed her with, like, basically, this girl, she's a very beautiful girl. She's Northern African as well. Yeah. Very beautiful girl. And because her father didn't stay with the mum, who the mum was very, very toxic, very, very spiteful, very malicious, he ran away from her. And for the mum to be spiteful, cursed her daughter and abused her daughter because her daughter's so beautiful. Jeez. But she cursed her in a way that she can't get a husband. Which was obviously, like, I can't get a husband, you're not getting a husband. We know those mindsets from our countries. Yeah. So in that case, it was a very real thing. And I reversed it for her, took it off, did a protection spell on her. And now she's like, she said, babes, I don't know what you did. Because she wasn't with me. I just said, like, give me your name, give me your children's name, let me protect you. Mum, this, that. Reversed it, took it off. And she was like, babes, I nearly got knocked over in the road because a guy nearly got knocked over in the road trying to run to her and try and talk to her. She's like, I've never had this much attention before. I said, of course you will. You're beautiful.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, she's got very similar features to
Yeah.
me, but she's got more of a Northern African look, whereas I've got a mixed look. Long, beautiful jet black hair, beautiful body, beautiful face, but more such a beautiful spirit.
Yes.
Like, there's just light coming out of her. Like, she walks into a room and everybody just feels happy. She's got like that rainbow vibe about her. Do you know what I mean?
A quick one to add on to that as well, yeah. Like, so once again, this is why I love having this conversation, because I honestly feel like also that a lot of people out there suffer from the same kind of thing. However it's happened, they're cursed or whatever. But for me, the key, I'm gonna make it so clear. Yeah? The key for me here is there's a lot of people who have got curses and they don't even know that they're cursed.
Yeah.
And there's some people who might even feel spiritually, they might feel like something's wrong, but they don't know where to go.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. You get me? Like, for them kind of people, like, what advice, if any, like, would you have for them kind of people who, you get me? Like, you know, when you feel like something's wrong, man, something's wrong to me, but they don't know where to go or to speak to.
The best thing for those situations, and this is a really good and important question.
Yeah.
There are a lot of charlatans out there that claim that they're readers and they've got a message for you from that person. First of all, I'm a reader. Yeah, I'm a tarot reader.
Yeah.
I'm an oracle. I have very many gifts. Yeah, I can look in your body right now and see if you've got illness in there. Like, that's how skilled I am.
Yeah.
I will never tell anybody, come to me for a reading. If you're meant to come into my path, your guides, God, will bring you to me.
Yeah.
And so what I will always say is that whenever you need help, set an intention of, I need help, guide me to the right person. And that person, and it won't be someone messaging you, oh, I got a message, it won't be that. You'll interact with somebody and just know. When I met this girl, I was in a building when I was just going and handing out flyers. And she started talking to me and she was like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, my hair won't grow. I was like, why, what happened to your hair? That's how it started.
Oh, wow.
She had an extension. She's like, my hair's it's just falling out, it won't grow. I said, babes, what's happened to your hair? This is going to sound really crazy, but I think someone put something on me.
Oh my God.
Something about that conversation was meant to happen, and something about her felt safe enough to tell me that. Because someone else might be like, what? You need locking up. And I was like, really? And she was like, does it sound a bit mad? So I said, give me your left hand. And I read her and I said, your mum did it. She started crying. She's like, how can you see that? I was like, your mum has a really severe jealousy towards you. She's put a curse on you. I'll take it off of you. She sent me some money. I took it off within 2 days. Her dating life is just... So it will be a conversation and you will know within yourself that you're guided towards that person. There's nobody I've read for where I've said, come and see me for a reading. They've been guided towards me naturally. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just be careful of, like, there's a lot of people out there that claim they've got messages and they claim they're readers. A lot of people don't even have permission to be reading in the first place, because tarot readers is not for everybody. There's a permission that you need. There's an understanding of universal law that you're supposed to abide by. You're supposed to abide by the 42 principles of Mayat before practicing any kind of spirituality or magic. And a lot of them don't even know who Mayat is. Do you get what I'm saying? So make sure that you set an intention for what it is that you need and allow your guides, your ancestors, God, source, energy, universe to bring it to you or guide you in the right direction.
Amazing. It's amazing advice, man.
Very, like, I even told Shafiq that he is very spiritual. I was saying, like, I don't let too many people touch me.
Absolutely. Your crown chakra. No way.
Different energies.
Absolutely. And your crown chakra is your connection to the Most High. Your crown chakra affirmation says, I understand. You understand the messages and the signs that you're being given from the Most High. You can't have just any energy in there trying to put their own intentions in there.
Yeah. That's why even the last person who was on the red chair, we spoke about the hair, because he's, you know, like, he's a brother from Ghana and he's got, you know, he's got locks, and we spoke about it, and he made me laugh, because sometimes me, I've just got this personality of sometimes someone might be saying something real, but if they're saying it in a funny way, I'm just going to laugh, innit?
Yeah.
So he started obviously telling the story of Samson and Delilah. Samson and Delilah. Do you forgive your mum for everything that's happened? Like, first and foremost, do you forgive your mum? Because, you know, we all know that forgiveness is very, obviously, it's very important. You know that people usually say, like, maybe
it's-
forgive people for yourself, for
Yeah.
yourself, so you can set yourself free and all of these things. But yeah, do you forgive your mum?
Absolutely. Forgiveness is
Amazing.
about peace.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with the other person. Like, I
Tell
will
them.
never have contact with her again. I will never have a relationship with her again because
Yeah.
that's my choice. She has chosen to reside in a place of toxicity that is harmful for me, and I don't self-harm.
Yeah.
So I'm very aware of what I'll be walking into. So at that point, it's not her, it's me. I'll be self-harming.
Yeah.
I have very deep empathy and understanding for what she's gone through. And I definitely forgive her, but forgiveness does
Love
not
it.
mean access and relationships.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
I love it, man. And, for everything that, all of the amazing things that you've got coming out, things that you're working on, things that you would like people to, to tap into, obviously I'm going to put your socials in every video that I'm going to post. But just in general, to let people know in terms of like, what you've got coming out, and if anyone after watching this conversation would like to contact you, to connect with you in whichever way, like, where is the best, which platform is the best platform to go to find you and everything that you've got coming up?
As far as creative and entertainment, I am Blu Rodriguez. Blue is spelt without an E, so that's BLURODRIGUEZ. I am Blu Rodriguez.
Yes.
If you want to connect with me on a spiritual level regarding your spiritual life, spiritual healing, therapy, you can contact me on Instagram again, and it's Kali, KALI.BLU.tarot. I do tarot readings, I'm an oracle, I do spiritual therapy, just go read my reviews, like they'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah. Amazing. Honestly, like it's been go on, you got something to say, bro, before I go? Yeah. Honestly, like it's been a pleasure. Like one of my famous words that I always say to everybody, honestly, I'm still very, very young in terms of my platform. We all have to start somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
And what I usually say to everybody that comes on here, either on camera or off camera, is like, honestly, me looking at you in your face, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Because like you could have been anywhere right now, it's a Sunday, but you decided to make time and come and see us. So
you're
honestly,
more than
I really appreciate your time.
I was a
man.
newcomer
Thank you.
too. I was a newbie too. So you
Yeah,
support
just
where you can.
Yeah, man, we just like some people call it grinding. Some people from the ends call it trapping. In whichever way you want to see it, we're trapping, man. Welcome to our bando, man.
It's a nice ass bando. You got the leather seats and that.
Yeah,
you got wallpaper in the bando.
The red seats. I don't want to talk about too much of the red seats, but yeah, man, we got the red seats in the bando. And yeah, honestly, like I just want to say once again, man, I really appreciate your time, man.
More than welcome.
Thank you so much, and literally that. Honestly,
So what made you outsource me?
Yeah. Honestly,
because I see that we follow some of the same people. Like I saw when I looked on your page, I saw that you follow Mummy Marissa.
My Marissa, she's been here.
Really? That's it's my homie.
Yeah, I see it as well.
Yeah,
she's
it's my tight friend.
Yeah,
I've got some projects for her later on this year, actually.
Yeah, beautiful.
I want to work on her with.
Beautiful
She's
soul,
a beautiful
man.
soul, isn't she?
Absolutely
She's
beautiful
so
soul.
lovely.
And
She's like just such a beautiful ray of sunshine.
And even quickly before I even answer the question, one of the Mummy Marissa, one thing I love about her as well is like we live as a music artist, like as well, like we live in these times of like you could easily be swayed to do what's popping, right?
Yeah.
You could easily
She's
be
so authentic.
Exactly.
South Girls, man.
I love.
We keeps it real.
Like what
We're
an
from
amazing
South.
queen. Yeah. So
yeah.
literally, and even when I think I interviewed her once or twice, and even this year we're gonna connect again. We even do to make a little short documentary together. Just following her around, just tapping it even more. With you, how I found you, honestly, my thing, this is what I always even say, that this is God's work, because my thing is a lot of people that I find either word of mouth, for example, if I've interviewed you and then after a while you say, I've got a friend that I feel like you could have a good conversation with, and then obviously people would recommend people, but also I'm a curious guy.
Yeah.
Like I don't really spend too much time scrolling on Instagram, but when I do, sometimes people's pages just pop up, and then I look at the bio and just look through the pictures. It's like I just go with my whatever people are calling my intuition, and I DM'd you, I found you on Instagram, and I just literally DM'd you, and then we're here. It's literally that. I came across a page on Insta. Yeah.
It's been a really nice vibe, man. I've really enjoyed
myself. Man, and definitely, man, we would love to have you back in the near future.
Absolutely.
Because one of the main things I like doing as well, like I like building with different people. I like, I'm growing, you're growing, and then later on we catch up, and you're like, yo, you've been getting up, can we catch up? I call it like a reality team TV red chair catch up. Yeah, literally that.
I'm down for it, man. I've got a lot doing this year, so it'd be good. It'd be good to see how far I get with it all.
Yeah, for real. For real, man. You're definitely gonna get far, man. I mean, you've already, from us hearing, you know, like your story and all of the incredible things that you shared with us, you've came a very long way, darling.
And still going.
Still going strong. Still looking amazing.
Thank you.
And still going strong, man.
Thank you. Next time I come back, there'll be a ring on.
Absolutely. Come on, man. You've already put into the universe, and I see a lot of man queuing up, man. A lot of man them queuing up, man.
I need a god.
One thing we just have to say to the man them queuing up, yeah, come correct. You get me? If you want to be at the front of that queue, I'm
going to see you anyway, so don't
Come
waste your time.
on.
Don't waste your time. I'm going to see you.
Come on. No, but honestly, Blu Rodriguez, thank you so much,
Thank
man.
you so much for having me. It's been lovely.
Oh, good, man. Reality Team TV, we're back. We're back. We're back. Come on. Over and out.